Welcome to each backyard. Thought I'd jump on, give some updates. I am really excited by the growth I'm seeing this year, and it's all due to some changes that I've made. As you can see, I've dedicated this corner. Hey, Palm Nation. Oh yeah, dedicated this corner to growing the greens, growing them greens. I like taters. I understood what you meant. Yeah, look at this grapefruit tree. Got this thing for 36 bucks at Lowe's. And that's about the size grapefruit tree I recommend getting. Anything bigger seems like overkill, but the grapefruit tree, the lemon tree, the lime tree all seem to be the top growers. You look, even my lemon tree, which has suffered so much, still finds a way to survive and produce decent amounts of fruit. But the reason this thing is cranking is not hard to. You have 83 Sable palmetto seedlings. That's awesome. Ready to create a straight up forest. But the reason that this one is just going off so vigorously is because of all those bunny berries. Hopefully you can see it with the poor quality of my phone, but the size of this trunk is not that big. It's maybe 1.5 of a pencil width. But the things I look for is that it's got healthy green leaves, no damage, etc. It does, and then I know it will sprout. So this had no sprouts on it when I got it. Been watering it. One thing I always like to remember when I plant these citrus trees too is they don't like to be mulched. So yeah, stuff like that. Really, you tried palmetto fruit? That's interesting. Palmetto fruit. Did I hear somewhere that palmetto is used medicinally for something? I think I did. I think it is. I have to check me on that. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, AM. You got the bunny honey, the bunny berries, the down low on the bunny goodness. What is wealth? Well, depends on what your perspective is, and my perspective is that having a copious quantity of bunny berries is awesome, and it makes me want to get back to those bunnies. Look at all these carrot greens. Crazy how green they are. Saw palmetto. Interesting. You know, the sable palm I love, and there are actually lots of varieties of the sable palm. The video that I'm premiering on, I think it's Friday or Saturday, I have to look, but over at my buddy Dave's place, he has what they call a Miami sable palm, and it's slightly different in a couple ways from the traditional saw. Anyway, it's very interesting. Checked it out. I haven't seen a sable Lisa, no. I can show you some Auricas and some Robolini sprouts if you'd like that I just, yes, Sable Miamiensis. That was it. That was the variety over at Dave's house. Yeah. That's a cool bit. That was like an hour long. That's when I'm going to start making longer form videos that are just going over and learning from friends and stuff that have lots of cool things. But yeah, the carrot greens are so easy to grow. I had no idea. I'd never really grown carrots, but I just, throw a little handful of seeds into each one of these pots and they just go off. And of course, the rabbits love it. Nothing more rabbit like than carrot greens. They also like the dill. I have 2 Ducat dills. They can eat that. There's some things that rabbits can eat, so I feel like they're so delicate I want to be super careful. But it's so cool to see them eat stuff too. Like, when you feed them the Ducat dill, you can hear them crunching it up and it smells really like dill. They love basil. Maybe I'll feed the rabbits. too. But anyway, okay, so while we're at it, my way of dealing with palm seeds is often just to get the entire flower, or whatever, the entire quantity of nuts on the flower, and just bring them and put them in a place that is like partial shade, and just keep them watered, and they'll just, you know, kind of turn brown, drop, and then eventually, like on this Areca palm, that's all I did here, and now it's growing up. And this is about probably 7 months, 8 months growth there. They grow in a clump like that, but that's an edible, the Areca palm. So definitely love that palm. Yeah, you could hit, that's exactly right. And underneath an Areca palm clump could be an Areca lawn almost every single time if you don't get those seeds before they drop, like carpet bomb, 100% germination rate. I love Arecas so much. They're so beautiful too. Sugarcane palm, they call it. I have a mature one I could show you if you're interested. I'll walk over there, but fortunately the quality of this phone is just an S8, so it's not that great. I need to get an iPhone. Saying that for a little while, but I don't know. Need to do it. But yeah, actually, oh, here, look at this. Who can identify that? What on earth? At first, I thought it was lemon trees because we planted like 20 lemon seeds in a pot, but it's not. It was actually another pot that I had, Jack had planted just one papaya's worth of seeds. Look at that. Just put it in regular old potting soil. And it takes a while for papaya to germinate like that for whatever reason, but months and months. That's why I forgot that it was papayas, because months and months and months later I go, oh yeah, that's right, we put this is another place that happened, and this will happen in the yard. That's how this papaya tree right here came to be. It's just, but they drop in around the base, it just grows. So I put a bunch of them in a pot like this, and when you put them in the pot, I've always found the little initial leaves that were on there when you transplanted them die off, and then they'll sprout new leaves, and you can see, like, hopefully you can see it on this one, that the little leaves are starting to go. And then the reason I put so many in one pot is because you want to keep the females, get rid of the males. Makes for better fruit, and only the females will produce fruit. Therefore, you let them all grow, and then when they flower, then you just chop down the ones that aren't females. And that's the process. All right, I'm going to grab some greens maybe. This is one of my favorite parts of the house. Southern side gets so much sun, it's just a sun blaster thing. I'm going to go with the dill. Dill is the ultimate Scooby snack of all rabbits, in my opinion. All my sources tell me this is the pinnacle of rabbit goodness. Oh, yeah, look at that. Man, that smells so good. Give him a bunch of dill. I think it's good for the dill to trim off the bottom ones too. Gonna get it growing. It's pretty hardy. Like in Florida, bugs are gonna get anything. And there I got the carrot greens. That's a little bit more mature carrot greens. Anyway, that'll be good. Oh, before I go, this is from the What You Got Growing On series, some things. This is a bamboo that I grew from a cutting. Here's my little carambola tree. If you can see, loves that hot sun, but it survived. It's one of 4. This is the one that survived the cold temps. They don't like them when they're little like that, the cold temperatures. They go down fast. I gave one away, so technically only 2 died. This is a beautiful Montingia tree, Jamaican cherry. They also call it a cotton candy tree. I like that name the best because it really does. Fruit tastes like cotton candy. And then a couple pigeon peas I decided to grow. Ah, your nan banana has woken. Congratulations. I've even got a couple of mango trees grown from seeds here. This is a Seminole cherry, which is a really interesting variety of cherry tomato I got from, it's an heirloom variety. Now this is Roselli. If you know, the calyx, the flower of the hibiscus, this Roselli, tastes just like cranberry. It's amazing, super beautiful. Edible pet cactus. Anyway, yeah, so many new things in the yard this year. Still have a couple things on the wish list that I've got to locate. I added 3 varieties of figs. Got a Celeste fig here, which is going off. You know, and you look at all these plants and they just look vibrant and green, and you know, I just planted this. It's already sprouting up vigorously, and it's because it's showered in bunny berries and watered. Hey, Jack.
Hello.
We're on the internet. Showing people the fig tree. The Celeste fig.
That fig.
And then that fig. Yeah, I had to go back. Got this thing for 12 bucks. I had to go back and figure out what the name was because I lost the name tag, but it's the White Marcellus is what it's called. And it's a little bit smaller one than others. But anyway, all right, let's go feed the rabbits. This is good because now I have extra hands. Oh, that's the Guinea fig, giant leafed fig. Isn't that cool? Yeah, we got this one. I paid a little extra for this because this one claims to have figs the size of tennis balls. You know, how many fig trees have been sold with that?
Probably
a lot. Oh, and I'm very proud of our Zen Bunny sanctuary, so to speak. And I'll just run through it real quickly. I just built a nice little enclosure as a bunny run where they exercise many times a day. So fun to watch them run around. And a bunny hutch inside, which I made. And then I put in a bench and a worm farm. Very simple. And there's our, and I bought a bunny statue. You know, I felt like I had to do it. And then my wife bought this cool, really cool thing. It was like $1 at the dollar store or something. It, made out of metal. It's like what do they call that type of metal? I forget. But
aluminum?
It's not aluminum now. I can't remember the name. Yeah, check out the clover. The bunnies love that clover and the red kale. So we're gonna put the vegetables all around. All right, well, before we run out of light, we better, yeah, it's kind of shady under here. So here's the bunny hutch. You can see Jack for scale. The 2 pans that catch any of the droppings, and we keep those clean. And then the bunnies have a good space in there, and we bring them out and exercise. To be honest, they sleep a lot. And in fact, they'll come out and run and exercise, and then they'll just kind of want to sleep. So I think they really like, actually, the cage. As unbelievable as that seems. So, and this is some other things that I built in here. This is another tarp that I used to cover the cage. I just haven't folded it up. But built a bench, nice solid bench, which we sit there and watch the bunnies do the Bunny 500. Oh yeah, Jack, you can open that up. And then I built this table for the worm farm, which is another very simple. I'm making videos for all this stuff, how to make it. But out of there comes the holy grail of permaculture, which is worm tea. Let me see. Spill worm tea on the ground. There it is. Penelope. Sleepy bunnies. Look at that. Now this is what a comfortable rabbit looks like. Hey Thumper, you're live on the internet. You want to feed him a dill thing? Okay. Let's see what a rabbit does when he smells dill. Wow.
Wages for positions.
Any more? I don't want to put it in the case. It's going to chop open. It's so cool. Even at 3 months old, you can teach them all kinds of cool tricks. They come to you. It's really neat. Of course, these bunnies have been consistently loved and exercised, and they lead the life of a Manure? There you go. Yep, something about feeding rabbits like this. It's a great way to end the day. Penelope? Let's see. Now, Penelope and Thumper are brother and sister. Yeah, I'll just leave it in there. She'll eat it later. She's in the middle of eating. Hey. Got the bunny butt. She's not interested.
Thumper up to the cage.
Thumper's always interested. Thumper was born interested. And he will just sit there and let you pet him forever.
Penelope went on her side. Oh my gosh. Penelope.
Oh man.
Like,
Yeah, that's why she didn't want to get
like
pet.
She's dead.
That is a relaxed rabbit. Whoa. Yep. That's crazy. Hey, Temper. Yep. Well, anyway, bunnies are funny.
Oh, hello. Painted back the cage.
That is so funny. I almost don't want to open the door because I just wanted to be able to relax. It would almost be hard to imagine that bunnies do that. Sleep on their side like a dog or a cat. But they say they only do that, sprawl like that, if they're very comfortable. So I'm glad to see it. Look, but then every once in a while she'll hear a sound of like that wind that just blew. The ears go up, the eyes widen open, and back to sleep. Yeah, I know, and the back foot all stretched out behind him. That is so cool. Oh yeah, we also picked a lemon.
Oh, yeah.
Late season lemon. I just realized I had that in my pocket. That one I go in. Getting ready to get some cherries next. Suriname cherries. We don't really have much other fruit in the yard.
Papayas.
Yeah, it's easy to get sucked into the bunny tractor beam, which just pulls you in. The softness of the bunny is undescribable.
Right here.
Indescribable. It's so soft. These lionhead bunnies have fur that are like that Angora rabbit, but not as long.
Staring at you.
Yeah, she's giving me the one eye. Yeah, Star Trek terminology. Alright, back you go. We'll be back. We'll let you exercise again. One more time. Got to spring forward, right? Oh yeah, we got to do something with the sugarcane. We cut this gigantic sugarcane cutting. Look at the size of it. Green sugarcane. Stuff is sick. And especially this time of the year when it's red. Look at that. You can see the sugars. The sugars. You can turn it that color. It's really cool. These are all healthy. You can see some of the nodes have these roots on them already, but it doesn't matter. Those will die off, but all these others will grow, no problem, as soon as you plant it. That is ready to go. Shouldn't let that die. Problem is, I don't know, kind of have to optimize space and already have green sugarcane growing. So, you know what loves the sugarcane?
Bunny.
The bunnies. They will chew on a piece of sugarcane every single time. But they say, if a rabbit won't eat a piece of sugarcane, call the vet. Oh, look at this. It happened live on the internet. We only dreamed it could happen, Jack. Oh, did I just drop it off? Oh, no. There was one ripe mulberry. And as I pulled it down, oh no, I'm wrong. Yeah. There it is. Well, that was it. You could toss it up in there though, since it's already in ground. But no, there's more. Look at that.
Piece of balls.
Yeah, pick that one. Let's try it. Do a taste test. You try it. How is it?
Good.
Tart or?
Yeah.
I like the tart ones. That's why I usually like to pick them.
Red, half
And they're a little bit red.
Sounds like half red. Oh, I see another
Oh
purple
yeah,
one.
yep. Yeah, we've been feeding the bunnies a lot of mulberry sticks. They love it. And we looked it up. They said it's very safe for them. We know that any of the, like look at this, all this fresh green growth they love. They'll eat the little green berries too. Oh, there's one here. You hold the branch. Oh, good.
I know where a lot more are.
These are little tiny beginning of the season ones.
That's another one.
What do mulberries taste like?
Yumminess.
Yeah, that's an excellent question. I think they taste like a cross between a blackberry maybe and a grape. That's what I would say, something like that. Tart, you know, when they get very the ever-bearing mulberries, which is this kind. By the way, if you haven't grown this, you don't have a mulberry tree. The ever-bearing mulberry produces year-round fruit. It really does. These red berries are more tart. That's the way I like them. They're crunchy and tart. Yeah. That's a good one. I like them better that way. Hey, for me? Yeah, thanks. Look at our mangoes.
It's like the only side that's sprouted. I think.
Tommy Atkins mangoes. Look, this one you can even see the color in it, and it's that small. Look at them all.
Oh yeah.
2 words. Oh yeah, Palm Nation, the mulberry that has 2-inch long mulberries. Yep, that is Pakistani mulberry tree. I've heard of it being grown around here in Florida. I've never seen one in person though. This is the Edward mango tree. And you see this one doesn't have that. You see, if you remember the last one that I showed you, the Tommy Atkins had the red and the yellow green to it. This is just green. That's because this is a Philippines mango variety, and this is an Indian mango variety. And this is actually a hybrid, but it still has those colors of the Indian. The Indian has the 2 colors. The Philippine is generally green or yellow. Yeah, you could grow certain kinds of mangoes in a pot, like a rosy gold or some of the smaller mango trees. A big pot, but you can do it if you have a greenhouse or a way to heat it. Keep it from not freezing. People do it. I know people here that do it. They build whole houses, greenhouses, over big mango trees. I mean, look at this this is a mango tree. This is a Hayden mango tree. You see that? Hopefully, see all those flowers. They're just loaded with fruit. You know what this one is?
Strawberry.
Strawberry tree. Yeah, and it's got fruit on it.
There.
This is another Montingia that I bought at a nursery.
There's a lot. Also one
Yeah, a lot of fruit.
there, going through here, there.
This is a really cool tree. It can struggle a bit in my yard if it gets salt on the leaves, but it usually will grow through it if you get it big enough. That's why I bought this one kind of big. And the one I'm growing from seed on the side of the house is doing really well too. Here, You can see that it'll probably have fruit in about a week. It's a big producer once it gets going. Yeah, this is a Montingia tree. They call it a strawberry tree as one of its common names. But I've known people from the Caribbean who say it's used widely for smoking meats, the wood. And the wood is very, very fragrant. And it's actually weird because the leaves are super sticky. If you feel the leaves, like the new growth leaves, you can feel it's like a stickiness too. But especially up in the newer part of, the branch, it feels sticky. And it smells. It has a very strong, sweet smell to it. A good smell. I like the smell of it a lot, which is why I think it's a good thing to have in your yard. Here's 10-year-old scallions. 10-year-old scallions.
This?
Yeah. Those were scallions that we ate scallions and I just buried them there.
That looks like way less.
Yeah, smell this.
Smells good.
Smells like onions. Yep, and I have chopped it completely back, and of course it just comes back from the bulb. Yeah, this is an interesting area. We've got Roselli, red Roselli, which is an edible hibiscus. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Now, oh, here's the Robellini. Again, I did this with the Robellini seed pods. Just took one. I don't know, maybe it was a few of them, but anyway, I took some of the seed pods and I just threw them in here. It was then the banana grove. And look at this. These are all Phoenix Robellini. They're all Robellini palms, which I'm going to transplant before the taproots get too deep. It's fairly loose, sandy soil, so just need to get on them. Put them in a big pot, though, that can handle the length of the taproot, because the thing is, when I pull those up, the taproot's probably going to be about 4 or 5 inches long. And this is still a work in progress, obviously. One of the goals we have this year is what?
I forgot.
Yeah, me too. No, it is to reduce the amount of yard waste we produce, because I think we're just throwing it away. Literally, like we could use it in our compost bins and all that. We have the ability to compost now, long story short. So the banana grove takes a little longer to take down because I'm not only chopping it down, but I'm turning it into compost, and that takes a little bit of time because there's so much water and it takes just a certain amount of time for it to break down. So I chop them into these logs. You can see they start to decay, you know, a little bit, but that loosens them up, and then you can split them down the middle with a shovel and kind of peel off these. This one's really not ready, but you can see you can peel off these very rigid pieces. And even though this looks, I mean, it almost has the consistency of rubber. You can hear that.
The ladder.
Yeah, sure. You up in the sea grape? What are sea grape leaves good for?
Frisbees and plates.
Frisbees and plates. So true. So anyway, I put them in this pile. Like, these have been here a little longer, and they're starting to break down more, you can see. But if you want to see what they look like once they've broken down, like here's one that's farther along.
Did it?
Starting to, yeah, but it's still got the, and then it will turn into something that's more or less like paper, like this. And then you put it in the composter and it just breaks down. But yeah, we got to hit these with the shovel, Jack.
Sugar.
Isn't that cool? I love the color of them, just for that part. They're so weird. Yeah, look at that.
Right.
That's that red musa. How much is that, you think? How many pounds?
Maybe like 5.
5 pounds, yeah. It's amazing how heavy they are. Look at how red that thing is. Kidding me?
This one's light.
That's our fall colors. But they happen in the spring. Yeah, so clearing this area out. I've actually still got 2 mulberries here that I grew from cuttings, and I got tons of videos about growing mulberries just because I love to do it. But you know, it's a forage crop in my opinion. You're growing it for, it's chop and drop. If you want to cut the leaves and just drop them, that's great for nutrient return into your yard.
Because of all the banana trees.
Yeah, but this thing was hiding in amongst a gigantic banana grove, so it never realized its potential. But as soon as I liberated the shade from it, it just blasted off. And of course, it's loaded and it'll have fruit any day. You can see it's got berries. That's the thing about the mulberry. I mean, just championship fruit producer. Dozens of varieties, cool varieties. I already talked about 3 in this stream. With the Pakistani, there's the Everbearing, the Persian, and then there's like, you know, I've heard of things like white mulberry, black mulberry, red mulberry. I don't know. Those are the common names, but I mean, I know there's lots of varieties. Yeah. This is a great wild part of my yard. We constantly see birds back here. Tommy the turtle lives back here. Larry the lizard. No, that turtle, the box turtle that roams around. There's a box turtle that we find in our yard from time. I think they're people's pet box turtles that have been let go. Maybe many box turtles, but we see them in the yard quite a bit. Why? I believe because they love to eat our edible pad cactus, which is actually like a commercial grade tortoise food, pet tortoise food. Believe it or not, I'll see their little beak chop marks out of the bottom of our cactus plants often and think, food for the turtles. Hey, Brian. What's up, man? Yeah, we're just going through the backyard, checking out the Dracaena grove. 6 varieties of Dracaena. Give me that fist bump. 6.
Going back, I'm not going back.
You know what that means. Time for 7.
How many are there?
How many varieties of Dracaena? I don't know. Lots. It's like all these plants. There's so much. Oh, yeah, there's a papaya we picked earlier. Got to decide what to do with that. We made a video where we showed the bunny worm compost system. Yeah, but lots of varieties of Dracaena. I'll show you something cool I did. This is my favorite Dracaena right here. This is the Song of India. It's just incredible, but it's really cold sensitive. But I'm trying a new thing, which I'm almost certain is going to work, and that's I took 3 varieties of Dracaena and made tied them together with a twist tie on the bottom. And it's Song of India, Song of India, Song of Jamaica, and then just regular green Dracaena, hedge Dracaena. It's like 3 different types, and they root so easily. It's almost guaranteed that they're going to root. This is also, if you've ever seen like Lucky Bamboo, the Lucky Bamboo, it's not actually bamboo, it's just a type of Dracaena, and the trunk of these Dracaena look almost like bamboo. Some of them, not these as much as that type.
Whoa. Looks like bamboo.
Yep. Yeah, had a lot of success. Oh, check this out. Yeah. You know what this is?
Banana.
Yeah, it looks like it almost. No, that's green sugarcane. This was a green sugarcane. Yeah, all these are green sugarcane, but it takes a long time for them to sprout. That's starfruit tree. And the starfruit tree is here. Starfruit carambola is really easy to germinate, and they actually produce fruit from seeds. So if you were going to try something, like if you lived in an apartment or in a place where you couldn't grow it outside, they grow fast and they produce a lot of fruit even when you've grown them in the pot. That's a great pick. Oh yeah, the Mexican Petunia. Once you have a Mexican Petunia in your yard, you never don't have Mexican Petunias in your yard. I learned that lesson the hard way, but I like them. I've learned to love them.
Why is there 2 pots there?
They grow from cutting so easily, you just snap this off, throw it, and it will probably grow. And then it will run underground.
There's actually 3.
3 pots? Oh yeah, this is the Never Never land of forgotten pots. We still have a lot of veggies that we could plant. Red kale. Our regular petunias are also invasive. That's interesting. Yeah, we actually have at least a few varieties of Mexican petunia that grow in our yard. One is a lower variety, but it looks almost like grass, so I just learned to look at it like grass, but sometimes you can see it down in the... I don't have great grass back here in my backyard just because I'm not that concerned with it, as long as it's green enough. Kind of put up the white flag on weed reduction, because if I'm going to go and buy I was at Lowe's actually this week and looking at fertilizers, and I realized anything I'm going to get for my lawn contains herbicides. They all say like removes dollar weed, removes. Yeah, it kills plants. So you're literally putting something on your plants, the grass, that's going to kill other plants. No way. And then you figure now you put it under the litmus of having bunnies and feeding them the grains. Do you even want any of that stuff on there if they're super sensitive to any pesticides or herbicides? Nah. So anyway, no fertilizer on the lawn this year. This is the first year we're going to just separate from fertilizer. Go with just bunny manure. Yeah, here's Areca again. So easy to grow. Look at this. This is a handful. I put 5 seeds in here. 2 were eaten by squirrels. I mean, the squirrels pulled them out. And 3 are going strong. Those should do well. Here's another one. This I actually just took a shovel and took a little shovelful of from that Areca, this grass that's growing on by the fence there, and pull the weed out. And it's doing great. Oh, that's another papaya growing. I've got papayas growing all over the place because I planted them in a bunch of pots and it took forever for them to grow. And then I planted other things in the pots and now they're growing with the other things. So we've got volunteers everywhere in all these pots. This is a little Suriname cherry. Remember when we planted that? We did a video on that, what you got growing on. Yep, that's from our very productive Suriname cherry tree that's about to just explode with Suriname cherry. And I found something out. That video that I'm releasing this week, Friday or whenever, with Dave's Fruit Jungle. He has like 3 different varieties of Suriname cherries. We have the red. He has purple, black, and red. He has 3 varieties. Yeah, I want purple too. But I asked him, you know, how has the fruit production been? And because I've had some that produce like no fruit and others that just rain fruit and some that have had fruit that are better than others. And so there's a lot of variability. It's almost like you got to grow 3 of them like that, let them all make fruit, and then just keep the one, saw the rest down that don't produce the good fruit. And that's another thing, growing these mangoes. These are Tommy Atkins mangoes, grown from seeds. Took seeds, threw them up in the banana grove, they sprouted. Just that was the whole process. And then planted them. So you can go through the process of growing a gigantic mango tree and realize it produces junk fruit. Gonna go through the other side? Okay. Yeah, it produces junk fruit or it doesn't produce any fruit. The other alternative is it produces grapefruit. But I just kicked the Persian mulberry tree, but it seems to be okay. Those things are tough. Now, our gigantic tree-formed cactus we had here collapsed. I made a video about it, chopping it up, but I tried to reuse it, and I still haven't used all the cuttings. I have 2 big cuttings. This is the Nepali Cactus. And I'm not going to touch it because I know I'm going to get it in my finger. There's just little hairs on this stuff. But it was just about ready to sprout the flowers. See that? See if we can. These flowers are really, really cool. But no problem. It grows like a weed if you know how to do it. And that one, it was at a freakish level. It's tree formed. This is a very dry, unkept area, but we transported the tree formed part itself right here and just chopped it way back. Look at this motley thing. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
We need to clean the inside, see if there's anything.
When we were digging this hole here, we found a Pepsi bottle that had been buried when this house was being constructed, I bet. A Coke bottle. In 1963 would be when this house was built. Look at this. It's like, I just brushed off the Pepsi. I just brushed off the Pepsi logo.
Coke.
It said Coke?
Yeah.
Coca-Cola, yeah.
Coca-Cola. Oh, there's still
Backyard archaeology, but isn't that a cool? I wonder how old that is. I've never seen a bottle like that.
It said 1665. It's at least 100.
Is that a pirate bottle of Coca-Cola?
Pirates are out.
Yeah, the idea of you dig up a tree in your backyard in Florida, an old oak tree, and then there's gold coins in the roots because some pirates buried it there years ago. Anyway, this was the remnants, some of the remnants of what happened in the front. So we took the 1665 bottle. Yeah, it's the good stuff. That was the real Coca-Cola. This is the probably the best one we had. I mean, it already looks like a pet cactus. And you see it looks, I mean, like a tree-formed cactus. So those branches, that thing was so big that you could just transplant it. And this is a beautiful red, purple frangipani that we've just been growing for years. Believe it or not, a cutting that gigantic really has a high likelihood of living. If I water it, but it's kind of in something like dry beach sand right now, so.
I don't like these cactuses. They're spiny.
Yeah, they have little hairs on them. These are really, really good, actually, tasting. Edible pad cactus. I don't know if you ever go into if you have a grocery store where you can buy pad cactus. Like in Southern California, all the grocery stores have. Yeah. It might be hard to find it at some grocery stores, but... Oh yeah, the bunny just on the other side. But this pad cactus is really good, but you don't want to eat it when it's like this. You want to get it when it's fresh, green, little shoots. And actually, I think it's best when it's just a little shoot, but it'll grow lots of them, and you can trim it back, and that actually encourages more. This is one of those, to me, a staple food type thing. Like if you're trying to make you have food even in a famine situation, I would want to have these. I would be growing stuff like this because they take very little water. Oh yeah, the wood from the other side that we had little nubs of wood we jammed here and there as we built this thing. Yeah, oh yeah, you get to see the other side of the bunny enclosure. Yeah, but it produces a lot of cactus once it gets going. Very easy to care for, so I think it's all going to grow. That's what I think, and I'm not going to worry about even watering it because pretty soon we'll be getting tropical storms and whatnot, and that'll be watering it just fine. This is a hedge bamboo. Bambusa multiplex, a clumping, non-invasive bamboo that has been here for about 15 years. At one point I had about 12 varieties of bamboo, and this is one of the only remaining, along with the Buddha belly bamboo. And I guess the last thing I'll kind of walk around and check out here is this awesome dragon fruit cactus. It's got a lot of shoots on it. That's cool. I hadn't noticed these. These are brand new. They grow really fast. These little shoots. That's cool. Because, yeah, and I also added another one of those Nepali right there. The trick with dragon fruit that I'll share here is to plant multiple stalks of it so that you have as many chances for fruit as possible. So if you're planting it around something, like plant 5, 10 different cuttings, all those grow, all those produce these, all of these have the chance to produce fruit, therefore you might get fruit sooner. If you don't, and I made a video about this one too, what happened to me might happen to you, which is that I grew this yellow, this is the rare type, the yellow dragon fruit, for all these years, tree formed up here, and then as soon as it got mature, somebody stole them. Somebody stole all our dragon fruit, Jack. But the problem is that was the only dragon fruit in like 15 years or something. So that's why you do multiple cuttings. So everywhere I planted it, from here I've planted a bunch of other places. I've planted multiples, and even here I've planted multiples now, so that we'll get a much higher chance that way. If 6 are stolen, maybe 6 are left. And that's a good math project for any fruit you plant near the curb. I claim if you plant fruit near the curb, you got to just assume some of it might vanish. No, I didn't see about the removing the coconut palms in Miami. I can't imagine Miami without coconut palms. That is inconceivable to me. Without coconut palms along the beach. I am on the search for a yellow Malay or a green Malay coconut, which is a dwarf variety. I'm actually going to plant. I want to plant 3 right along here, which are small dwarf coconuts that don't get 80 feet tall. And I might have to drive down to Miami to get it. They're actually nurseries, giant nurseries down in Homestead, I'm told by some viewers of the channel, that have everything you need, and the prices are pretty good according to my sources. So I might just take a field trip down there. One way to kill the tourist industry. Yeah. It seems like the roads are pretty full with people coming to Florida, though. I have never seen it so crowded. I've been here for 25 years. I've never seen it so crowded here. With cars on the street, with the real estate market, everything is just booming in terms of, crowds. So, we'll see. Seems like some folks are on the move. All right. Thanks for watching. Eat your backyard. I appreciate you being on the stream, Palm Nation. Always good to see you on the stream. I'm going to try to stream a little bit more, but I feel like I should have a better phone since a lot of what I'm doing here is visual. So anyway, thanks for watching. Eat your backyard. Have a great day.